I love that with my role at Amazima that I get to teach biblical truth. And what comes with that role is some huge hopes, some huge expectations for our students and for the school and for the whole of Amazima.
We spend a whole year teaching through the Bible, from creation to the cross. And so in between, we teach our students principles and things like grace, things like mercy, things like God being sovereign, the world, that even God is gracious to us when we don't deserve it.
We really want to not just be another loud voice in the background of their life. We want to come in and present truth in a way that they will receive, and it'll lead to heart transformation.
Well, I would say patience is key, because you don't just wake up one day and beat your students with the Bible. You have to learn that learning is a process. And so it takes time for one to be uprooted of all the false teaching that has taken place in their lives. So in you being patient, you're actually learning together with the student.
I think one of the biggest challenges that we face when we're teaching biblical truth to the students is that sometimes we feel like we're John the Baptist. We're a lone voice shouting in the wilderness. It feels sometimes like the whole world is shouting in one direction, we're going in the opposite. And that's a lot for the students, to have most everybody they know telling them one thing and then having a handful of people telling them something different. So most of the time there is change, there's success when we're teaching biblical truth through relationships. The way that we are intentional about investing in them. It's not just about what happens in the classroom and answering questions there, but it's taking 5 or 10 minutes after class to engage in conversation. It's meeting them in the lunch area. It's meeting them down on the football pitch and continuing to engage and invest in them with biblical truth, not just on our terms, but on their terms as well.
We've grown up in a broken world, grown up in broken families. And so when you get to see someone who really cares for you and loves you unconditionally, then you get to learn that what they are telling me is tested, not just by what they speak, but how they live around me.
We've seen so many students who have made dramatic changes in their life, both in their behavior, but even more so in the way that they approach life and in their thought life and in the way that they engage with friends and family and the way that they serve in the community. Biblical truth has gotten into their hearts and has transformed them into new creations.
It's not a Western thing, it's not an African thing, it's what God has set as the standard. And so we've been successful because we've allowed to be taught by God so that we can also teach other people.
And so I'm hoping that 5 or 10 or 15 years from now, that we have a campus that is full of students who love Jesus with all their heart, mind, soul, and strength. And because of that, they love their neighbor as their self. And they take that message and they bring it into their communities, and so that their families feel the same way, their mothers and their fathers and their aunties and their uncles, and so that it would make a difference there as it is on our campus. And that would even spread from there all throughout Uganda. That the message wouldn't stop here, but the revival we would see here would spread throughout this whole entire country. I think that's possible, and I think that's exactly the direction we're heading in.